friends. Would you repeat after me? Woo, woo, woo. We're going to get our voices ready to sing our song from last week, Here Comes a Reindeer. Again, woo, woo, woo. Would you tap your shoulders with me as we sing? Ready, ready, sing with me. Here comes a reindeer flying to my house. Hey, Santa, bring your sleigh today. Take a little sleigh bell, ring it in the night sky. Hey, Santa, bring your sleigh today. Now let's draw the phrases while we sing. Notice I'm going to take a little bit of a different approach to our phrases, which means we're going to be drawing only a little bit longer this time. Ready, ready, draw with me. Here comes a reindeer flying to my house. Hey, Santa, bring your sleigh today. Take a little sleigh bell, ring it in the night sky. Hey, Santa, bring your sleigh today. How many phrases did we just draw? We did draw 4 phrases. Now this time on phrases 2 and phrases 4, I want you to sing it on a loo, like this. Loo, 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 loo. Let's try it. Ready, ready, sing with me. Here comes a reindeer flying to my house. Loo, 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 loo. Take a little sleigh bell, ring it in the night sky. Loo, 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 loo. You're doing such a nice job with that. This time, when we sing loo, 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 I want you to tap that on your hand like this. Loo, 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 loo. Let's do it. Here comes a reindeer flying to my house. Loo, 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 loo. Take a little sleigh bell, ring it in the night sky. Loo, 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 loo. Okay, if we're focusing on our rhythm of that phrase, when we sing loo, 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 let's focus on how many sounds we have on each beat. So this time, I want you to show me 4 fingers for 4 beats. And we're going to count. We're going to tap each beat and count and see how many sounds we can hear on each beat. So get your hand ready and practice this with me. Loo, 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 loo. Okay, now this time, I want you to listen for how many sounds you hear on the very, very last beat. Listen. Loo, 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 loo. How many sounds did you hear on the last beat? Listen again. Loo, 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 loo. How many sounds did you hear? That's right! You should have heard 0 sounds, no sounds. And in music, what do we know or what do we call something that has no sound? You're right. We call it a rest. So what could we say instead of nothing there? What could we say? Like when we read rhythms, what is something that we usually do when we see a rest? You're right. We will do shh. Let's practice. Loo, 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 shh. Awesome job, friends. Okay. Now, I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning of our phrase, and I want you to pay attention to how many sounds you hear on beats 1 and 2. Listen. Loo, 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 shh. Okay, all the way back back at the beginning of that phrase. How many sounds did you hear on beats 1 and 2? In fact, if you think about it on the words, we only sing one word over beats 1 and 2. Hey, Santa, bring your... So how many sounds did we hear? Loo, 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 loo. You're right. We only had one sound, but it was 2 beats? That's silly. Let's try it again. Loo, 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 shh. We'll come back to that one. How many sounds do you hear on beats 3 and beats 4? Listen again. Loo, 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 loo. How many sounds did you hear, or how many sounds did you sing on beats 3 and beats 4? Loo, 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 loo. You're right. Each of those beats had 2 sounds, but on one beat. Loo, 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 loo. What do we know in music that has 2 sounds on one beat? You're right. We usually say ta-dee, or we know them as 8th notes. So if we were to replace those with ta-dees, this is what it should sound like. Loo, ta-dee, ta-dee. That's great, friends. Let's sing the whole thing from the beginning and use ta-dee in our shh. We're slowly figuring it out together. Ready? Loo, ta-dee, ta-dee, loo, 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 shh. Okay, so now we have talked a little bit about what's happening on beat 1 and 2, and we're not quite sure on that one. In fact, we're going to wait until next week's lesson to figure that one out. But let's talk about what's happening on beats 5, 6, and 7. We know what happens on beat 1 and 2. Loo, and we know what happens on 3 and 4. Ta-dee, ta-dee. Loo, loo, loo. That's 5, 6, 7. How many sounds do you hear on each one of those beats? Loo, loo, loo. You're right. There's only one sound on each one of those beats. So, what do you know in music that only has one sound on each beat? You're right. It's a ta, or a quarter note. So let's replace each one of those beats with a ta this time. Let's go from the beginning of that phrase. Ready, ready, sing with me. Loo, ta-dee, ta-dee, ta, 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 shh. Okay, now we have figured out almost everything except for what's happening right at the beginning. I told you we were going to come back to that because we now remember we know what happens when there's no sound on one beat. And we now remember what happens when there's one sound on one beat. And we remember what happens when there's 2 sounds on one beat. But what about when there's one sound on 2 beats? What kind of rhythm do you know that has one sound on 2 beats? Think about when we even say our rhythms together. Ta-dee, ta-dee, ta, 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 shh. Did you say a half note? Did you say ta? I'm so glad that you said that because you're right. It is a half note. We say ta, which is one sound over 2 beats, or a half note. So now we can sing all of the rhythms for that phrase. Would you sing it with me and show me the beats on your fingers? Ready? 1, 2, sing with me. Ta, ta-dee, ta-dee, ta, 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 shh. Let's do it 2 times in a row. Ready, ready, sing with me. Ta, ta-dee, ta-dee, ta, 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 shh. Ready, ready, sing with me. Ta, ta-dee, ta-dee, ta, 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 shh. Okay, now let's go all the way back to the beginning of the song. And every time you sing that phrase, I want you to show me those and plug that in. Let's go from the beginning. Ready, ready, sing with me. Here comes a reindeer flying to my house. Ta, ta-dee, ta-dee, ta, 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 shh. Take a little sleigh bell, ring it in the night sky. Ta, ta-dee, ta-dee, ta, 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 shh. Excellent job, friends. You're doing so well with that. We're going to come back to this next week, and we're going to see how do we write that phrase in our music. Enjoy the rest of your music lesson. Good work.